Your Excellencies, the CEO of CCA Africa, ladies and gentlemen, may I begin by expressing my profound pleasure at the opportunity extended to me to be part of this historic conference. I also wish to commend your lofty objectives of increasing both the capacities and opportunities available to African women to excel. This is particularly important as women in Africa are expected to be valuable contributors to the welfare of their families and the development of their communities and countries. I am therefore particularly grateful to the African Women Diplomatic Forum, the African Diplomatic Corps in Canada, and the Canadian Council for Africa for designing this conference aimed at supporting Africa to strengthen its capacity to ultimately lead to its own development process. It goes without saying that the women of Africa, through history, have demonstrated commendable resourcefulness and diligence. These have formed critical inputs into poverty reduction and socio-economic progress in the continent. Unfortunately, however, they have consistently been ignored and robbed of due credit for this critical role. The need to redress this unfairness is a clear justification for this conference. Another obvious reason why the conference is most welcome is the urgent need to empower the women of Africa to function more effectively in those roles, especially in the face of the challenges of the modern world. I therefore once again commend the organizers. I also congratulate the principal targets of this conference, the women of Africa, especially those who have the privilege to be here. This is in view of the benefits which the conference is offering them, including the opportunity to showcase our products and services. Other advantages are the opportunity to listen to top-rate speakers who can inspire fresh insights, discover new perspectives to our businesses, as well as network with various successful industry and business players whose experiences we shall find ultimately beneficial. The African women presents a typical illustration of women being generally considered as naturally inclined to multitasking. Even in the traditional African setting, she is a notable force on the farm, just as she's not found wanting in the other handicrafts and domestic activities all at once. For the contemporary woman, she is also often seen doing the balancing act all the time between the family duties, demands of career and other social engagements, yet she manages to bring them all together successfully. However, our experience is that there is a wide gap between the potentials highlighted above and true success. This can be measured in terms of ability to find a space in a male-dominated society and proceeding to excel at work or business. For the African businesswoman, this is the true challenge. It also underlines the fact that she requires support and empowerment, such as this conference promises. This is with the respect of the series of odds that are stacked against her. This includes issues of access to appropriate formal education and healthcare, specific business skills, as well as other social and economic challenges. In more specific terms, the obstacles against the full expression of the potential of the women in Africa, and indeed elsewhere, include the following revelation from a recent statistics. Of the 600 to 800,000 people trafficked across international borders annually, 80% are female. 2/3 of 880 million illiterate adults are women. Of the more than 110 million children not in school, approximately 60% are girls. An estimated 450 million adult women in developing countries are stunted, a direct result of malnutrition in early life. Pregnancies and childbirth-related problems take the lives of nearly 146 teenage girls each year. 2 million girls and women are subjected to female genital mutilation every year, and thousands suffer needlessly from obstetric fistula. These are worrisome statistics. This worrisome statistic indicates the conditions under which the African women exist, in spite of which is expected to excel and emerge as captain of industry and a significant leader in business entrepreneurship. Besides the above, there are other forms of obstacles which dramatically limits our ability and opportunity to flower and be truly distinguished. Some of these are sociocultural, such as certain traditional beliefs and practices, which consider the woman a mere appendage without rights and privileges. In this context, her life is expected to be devoted to servicing the ego and needs of the man. This tendency is visibly transferred to the bureaucracy and business environment, whereby the woman is usually expected to take her place behind the man, such that a woman will only be considered for certain opportunity only when a man cannot be found to take them. It is, however, a great relief to observe the groundswell of social, economic, and political initiative around the world aimed at freeing the African woman from these obstacles. This will certainly extend to her opportunities to unlock her potentials. I'm happy and proud to note, ladies and gentlemen, that this conference is one of such laudable efforts. It is important to note at this juncture that governments and multi-government organizations in and out of Africa are also taking concrete steps to address the trends. This will offer them appropriate platforms to take their place as strategic contributors to the growth and development in their nations, continents, and the world at large. Towards this end, policies are being formulated while international and regional protocols are instruments which seek to eliminate the political, social, and economic obstacles against the interests of women are evolving progressively. Nigeria, my country, presents an excellent example of this, where the prospects of the women have never been brighter than under the administration of His Excellency President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Our First Lady, Her Excellency Dame Dr. Patient Goodluck Jonathan, has spearheaded a massive movement of initiatives and efforts that will forever change the fortune of the Nigerian woman. One of these is the historical breakthrough which has accomplished with the affirmative action, where the country currently has 13 female ministers and 6 special advisors in the federal cabinet. This is on record as the highest since the independence of the nation. Indeed, she's still pressing forward to expand the space in other areas of our national life where the faces and voices of more Nigerians will be seen and heard. Her commitment in this regard is obviously underlined by the recent action of the United Nations aimed at further mainstreaming women in the global agenda. This came by the way of the formation of what we now know as the UN Women, with the Nigeria Permanent Representative to the United Nations, Professor Joy Ogu, as foundational chair. Such developments are pointers to the fact that the future of the African women is indeed bright, particularly in the areas of business and industry. Ladies and gentlemen, let me therefore state that this conference is a commendable addition to the increasing opportunity for self-expression for women in our continent, especially in terms of knowledge and skills. It also has the potential of assisting them to build new network of contacts that can make a difference to their prospects as business entrepreneurs. I therefore wish to urge you to proceed with the dedication and commitment in the assurance that some of the outcomes of this conference may dramatically change the landscape of business in Africa. Once again, I wish to thank the organizers of this conference for the worthy initiative and especially for having me here to share my thoughts and views. It has been my great pleasure. Thank you all for your kind attention as I wish you a very
So we'll ask for a few questions. Yes. Okay, Madame has graciously accepted to have some questions and answers. So Chris is there if there is any questions. Can you, Madame, can I ask you to come back here? I'm sorry about that. Question.
Thank you very much for your speech. My name is Joy Osiago. I report for the Nigerian Television Authority, and I have studied you over the years and seen how you have moved progressively to where you are today. Here's my question. I remember that when you started, it was when this issue of a serious male-dominated society will not let women break through. Yet you started at a very tender age of 25, and you were able to survive the male folk all the way to this point. Can you share with us some of the challenges you faced and how you were able to overcome them and work hand in hand with them to get to where you are today?
Thank you very much, Joy. I must be very honest with you. It was not easy getting to my present position in life. Well, I started off just like the gentleman said, that by importing photographic material, from where I built the business, then moved forward to building real estate, then going into banking, then oil and gas. I sat on the board of the bank where I bought shares into for 8 years. My son is sitting on my behalf there now. I've just resigned to leave my son there. In the oil and gas industry, that was a cartel. It was a hard one. I must be very, very honest. My first cargo that I brought into the country, the men made sure I lost money. I lost a lot of money. I was not going to be accepted into the cartel. But I persisted, I persevered. I said, if they can do it, I believe I can do the same business. And I made sure I remain in the business up to today. No matter what the laws are, I was able to follow through, whatever way they bring it, I do it. Because they have all sorts of ways of, making sure that you don't get your cargo discharged. There's the demurrage claim is $25,000 per day. They block your cargo. You can be on the Nigerian High on the IC for 1 month. You pay over $1 million. I said to myself, if they are paying it and they're still in the business, let me pay it and go ahead. And I'm still in the business. So they now call me Iron Lady that they have accepted me to the cartel. And I've done the business for 20 years. And for the real estate, each time I make profits, I put it into properties. That's why I've developed my portfolio to this level. And that accepts me to buy my shares into banking, where I can have a seat on the board. I resigned after 8 years, and I've let my son there now to take over.
We have another question over there.
My name is Ada Ozongu. I am National President of the Nigerian Association of Women Entrepreneurs. Hajia Bola Shagaya's story is a unique one. She has survived, she has tread where angels will even dread to tread. Ma, I want to ask, in your quest to get to where you are now, did you have a godfather?
It's not possible. I didn't have anybody. I started my business by myself, okay. And I took advantage of talking to bankers. And that's another thing I must tell you, ladies in this room. Learn to go to bank and take money. My 8 years being on the board of a bank, I never saw any proposal for any woman. So men were coming for 10 billion, 20 billion, and I said, hey, I can collect the same amount of money. And we are better money managers, we pay our loans, and why can't, if men are taking the money, why can't I take as much as 10, 20 million? And I developed my business faster. It's just relying on the banking institution and making sure that you pay your loans and, you know, keep your profits, pay your loan, pay your interest, service your interest. We won't have any issues because we are better in money managers. We are better money managers than men. I'm sure you know that.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. The big part of my question, Ma.
Yes.
I don't know whether you are mentoring a group of people because, like I said, your position is very unique. If you are not, we would like you to step down, so that some of us who like to at least try to get near where you are can benefit from your wealth of experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Another question there? Yes?
My name is Rose Ketty Handy. I'm president of Bilingual Link, and I'm here in Canada. I've been living here in Canada for 20 years. I'm from Africa. I'm from Cameroon originally, and I left Cameroon 27 years ago. I was still a teenager, and before leaving Cameroon, there was no TV. And every time I travel to Cameroon, I find that we have television everywhere. But one thing that I deplore is that our young sisters, what they see as model is the people from Hollywood. And we all know, living here, that they're not necessarily the model that we want our young sister to emulate. So as a businesswoman, and I am really glad to come in a room like this and then see a lot of African businesswomen. And my question is, what role, how African women, businesswomen can step into the plate and be those models that our young sisters need so that we can lift up our young sisters so that they can become builders. And also for those who are already adult, how, I'm glad that she mentioned mentorship, but how can African women, businesswomen particularly, can break the cycle of seeing development in women only in NGOs and not knowing that the sustainable development is really about making women being entrepreneur?
Big question.
Yeah. That's a very tough one. Anyway, mentorship is one thing. But another thing is yourself having the determination to, do it. But I believe that if there can be a sort of forum where they can advise women that working with the banks are the easiest way of, breaking through. Because NGOs will not give you the required support that you will need to really get up there. And I want you to know that women should not shy away from borrowing money from banks. It's the easiest way, it's the easiest thing to do. And it's the easiest way for you to grow. Just get used to working with the banks. And I'm sure sky is the limit. As for the mentorship, I will not lie. I'm a very, very busy person. But if you do book an appointment to see me, if you have certain issues, I'll be more than delighted to, explain to you, because there's no classroom where you teach business. It's experience, and it's the master teacher. You have to lose money, make money, lose money, make money. You should not go to and start any business with the mindset that I'm going there to make money. You are going there to lose money as well. So you have to stay there long enough to be able to learn the rope. That's just my advice.
One more question. One.
Right. Good afternoon, madam. My name is Dr. Wigwe, Joyce Wigwe. Hajia Shagaya, I've known you over the years. I don't think you know me. And you have grown successfully through different administrations. You're a woman that I know, not many like you in Nigeria, that has thrived through various governments, various regulations, just as you rightly pointed out. And, but I also know that you have wonderful parties, very well arranged in Nigeria. Now, the question I want to ask you is that, you see, this conference is about Investment Opportunities Conference. And we would like to know exactly what role did networking play in the success of your business?
Well, if you follow it through, because this is just a room where with so many women, I believe once you leave here, probably some of you will not even, follow up with the contacts and all that. And all those little things matter. It's about discipline. You have to, you've traveled all the way from Nigeria to Canada. So make enough business contacts. You don't know which one that will work. Try to, help yourself by, following up, making phone calls, send emails, send texts, talk to people. Don't be ashamed to ask questions, because no one has the monopoly of knowledge. You just keep on asking, and there's this issue that women do have as well. We are our worst enemies. We don't like each other, because growing up around women, I can just tell you, write a book on that. Because if you are going up, they rather have a man being at where you are. But we really have to, distance ourselves from that kind of attitude, so that at least we can be better people in the society, and we should not start looking at, this man has made it. Who told you you cannot make it? You can make it as much as 500 times as the man that you are admiring. So let them admire you too.
Last one. Ms. Mojima Konjola, I work with the Nigerian Television Authority. One particular concern for mothers, particularly women in business and professional women, is being able to keep the family going and also doing the business. Well, I know that you are a mother and a grandmother, so how have you been able to do this?
Very easy. I'm a mother of 5 sons, and they're all educated in England. They've studied their masters, and they're back in Nigeria. And I'm a grandmother as well. I have time for everything. I have time to exercise, look after my children, make sure, see them through the education. And they've done very, very well in their university education, and they're back home in Nigeria. And I've made sure that they are working independently, not in my company, so that they can go and learn experience and gain experience before they can join me. I suffered for what I have today. Let them just have a bit of what's this. That's just it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.